Food safety is a shared responsibility from the handler to the consumer.
Comfort Alabade joins us this morning, a food safety expert and entrepreneur.
So there are some food that are categorized as high-risk food. So any food that belongs to that category, like the salad and the rest, should not be prepared ahead of time. They are meant to be prepared fresh. It's not meant to be eaten still. Okay. So you need it in the next 2 hours. You prepare it around that time frame.
Okay.
Yes, so that's food in that category. Okay. You don't prepare it ahead of time and store. So what that means is I am to tell any consumer that you look out for some things before consuming any food. Beyond the aesthetic of food, oh, this food is lovely, let me take a picture and all. Beyond that, you should have this mindset of, is this food safe? First, not to make you afraid of consuming food, but to put yourself at that safe zone, like, okay, is this food safe? Beyond the beauty, is the temperature intact? You know, you cannot physically identify hazards in food. You know, we have some things called food hazard. The physical hazard, you can see, like maybe air, cockroaches, like some people have been posting, you know, that they found cockroach in food and all, glass or whatever. Those are physical hazard. So the biological hazard, which are the bacteria, the fungi, you know, the viruses, the parasites, you cannot see that. So how would you now ensure that that food is safe? The handling, you know, handling is very important. Whoever has handled the salad must also be safe in the sense that is the person ill? Like once you are sick, you're not meant to be in the food arena. Yeah, so then the handling, was it properly handled? Like the hands were covered with one-time use gloves and all. Then once you're done, you can prepare and store in the fridge, right? In the refrigerator, not freezer. Okay. So once you do that, and then the next day, you still have leftovers. Just ensure before consumption, there's no change in color. So there's something called sensory evaluation before consumption, meaning you use your sense organ to check the food. Okay. So as the food handler, before serving anybody, know that you need to check, okay, hope there's no discoloration in this salad. Okay, if you've ticked that list, okay, how about the aroma? So you check your nose. You know, the 5 sense organs are the eyes, the nose, the skin, the ears. So you look and then you check, you perceive, okay, it's the smell.
Can you taste it as well?
Yes, you can taste. Yes. Okay. The tongue, okay, it's still tasting fresh, it still smells fresh, then the texture is still intact, then you are good to go.
At this time, when people just want to eat and swallow, you know?
Oh, no, it's high time.
And sometimes you test and it's a bit sour. Yeah. Does that mean it's...
You discard.
Once it's sour?
Once it has failed that test, you discard. You know, this season is a season where we have many people invite guests to their house, to their homes. And you know, food is always flying anywhere where there is a festive period. So having seen that you must cook and you must entertain your guests. You receive food from your neighbors downstairs, from the neighbors upstairs, from the friend out there. So food is always flying around. So why then are people predisposed to this food-borne illness? That's simply because there are some parameters you consider in food safety. It's called the food safety parameters, yeah? So that's, you consider the temperature of the food, you consider the storage, how was the food also prepared, how was it handled, was it hygienically prepared? You also consider the food handler's hygiene, that's whoever is handling the food or whoever has handled the food. You consider the temperature. I usually emphasize on temperature because it's very crucial. If the food was prepared hot, was it also consumed hot? So the temperature is very crucial because the food bacteria or the food pathogens that leads to this foodborne illness, they only need a conducive environment, yes, to attack. Yes. So when I say conducive environment, they need that room temperature, that moist, wet environment. So once the food has crossed the safe temperature zone, so there's something called safe temperature zone. So once the food has crossed that part, it then moves towards the danger zone, which is below 60 degrees down to room temperature, like we
below 60 degrees down.
Yes, down.
So the safe zone is what?
The safe zone is from 70 upward. Yes, I'm saying safe because, you know, from leftovers, your leftovers should be above 60. Yes, so meaning you should eat your food at 75 degrees. Hot. That's for leftovers. But for the food you have just prepared, above 60 degrees.
That's
yes. So, but for the cold food, they also have their temperature zone, which is the safe one is from 5 degrees down.
That's a safe one.
Yes, like your coleslaw, your cold foods. So you must eat your food within those safe temperature zone. Yes, yogurt should be at its safe zone. Ice cream, yes, you know some people would wait for the ice cream to melt. Then within its shelf life, which is 2 hours, it can poison you. Yes, so anyone can be food poisoned if you don't understand that there's something. No, yes, because temperature is very crucial.
2 hours.
Temperature is very crucial for any food. Yes, so regardless of your age, your immune system, I'm old, you can actually be food poisoned. I don't know if you heard of the cholera cases back, I think a few months back. Yes, it was a bit fatal. Some people died as a result of it. So it's not a matter of age, it's not a matter of locality, it's not a matter, in fact, food poisoning is a global issue, which is why food safety can be a means to address it. You know, shopping is actually like a family adventure for some people, where when they get to the
market,
shopping malls, they will have this cart, the trolleys. So for you to know that food safety was in the mind of the manufacturer of that, there are compartments in the trolleys, you know, and in those compartments, sometimes we see parents put their child on the upper compartment. And actually, I'm saying this because that was done to ensure food safety. So when you're shopping, for example, you're shopping for cold or hot thing, those are the things you shop last, and it must be placed above on the cart. Meaning, if you have the plan of shopping for meat or anything with blood, that should be below, while the edible should be above. Yes, so for you to know that the manufacturer was intentional when they were manufacturing that. So when shopping, you ensure that the cold is gotten last and the hot one is gotten last after you've gone round, so as to ensure
so the cold
that
items,
yes, no, should be above.
It should be above.
Yes, that's if you have meat or anything.
When you are packaging them, that
when you are packaging, yes. Do you notice that even at the point of packaging for exit, you notice that whoever is attending to you is always
different bags,
sharing your things in different compartments and different bags. So that's also food safety. For example, when you have detergent and the rest, they pack it aside from the edibles. So you, the shopper too, should have that in mind, that you don't just dump everything in the trolley.
So you're saying that the cold food should be the last?
Yes, meaning it should be on the smaller part of the trolley. Yes, so that you are ensuring the temperature is still intact, and then you are also ensuring the freshness, because by the time you're going around with the cold, the ice cream, for example, will melt, the yogurt will lose its temperature, and that way it's not safe, meaning it is losing its freshness. Then you still go under the hot sun till you get to so the temperature will drop. So that way you have to put it in that compartment last. It should be shopped for last.
And when you're putting inside your bag, I'm not talking about a trolley, where should it also be?
Okay, once the attendant has done a job by putting it in your bag, you ensure you put it in the car, not in the trunk, where you still have kegs of fuel and the rest. So there's something called chemical hazard, meaning aroma smells rather could also have an effect in your edibles. Yes, so what that means is you also ensure storage. It's a shared responsibility. Personal hygiene should have been the first thing I mentioned, because it's very crucial. You can't talk about food safety without talking about hygiene first. So personal hygiene, down from your personal care down to the hygiene area of your kitchen arena. So when it comes to personal hygiene, are you actually food safe? In the sense that you are not having diarrhea before preparing the meals, or you run to the toilet then you run back again to continue from where you stopped. That is actually can lead to there's something called cross-contamination of the pathogens if your hands were not properly washed. In fact, anyone with diarrhea should avoid cooking for that period of time. Yes, and then personal hygiene down to the nails. for those that love to keep long nails when cooking, it is actually a bad culture. In food safety, it's not meant to be, because the nails can trap some dirt, and the dirt can breed some bacteria, and the bacteria can then penetrate into your food. No, not like they shouldn't cook, but they should avoid it for the cooking area. Yeah, for the cooking time frame, you can avoid it. They have the ones they can just use. I think they call it press-on.
Okay.
So you can still maintain your steeze and beauty even after cooking to keep your consumers safe. Because it's safety first. Immediately you start, the first, there are different symptoms to different people. Some will start having running stomach. Some will start having, in fact, diarrhea. Immediately they start running to the toilet. So the first thing when you notice these symptoms, quickly do an ORS. That's the homemade ORS.
Okay, how do you do that?
So what you do is you get your salt, you get your sugar, you get your water. So in a glass of water, the ratio should be a tiny. Okay, I wish I have a means of practicalizing it. So it's just a pinch of salt, and then a smaller quantity of sugar. So the taste should give you a taste of coconut water. I don't know if you have an idea of that. So what that does, it replaces the lost electrolyte. Or even if it's just rumbling stomach. So what that does is it helps to settle the tummy, meaning the electrolyte that is being threatened in your tummy or your stomach that is about to get rid of in your body, it will balance it. So that's the first aid. Then afterwards, you will be balanced, you will be stable again. Then afterwards, you go to the nearest hospital. The reason is, in this part of the world, we are used to self-care.
Yeah, self-medication.
Self-medication. Like we want to do it ourselves. So most times we are tempted to quickly go for the next capsule. So what that does is it's only treating the symptom, not the cause. It's not dealing with the root.